¡Feliz Navidad! ¡Feliz Navidad!
It's Christmas time, yeah. Christmas time on ISTV. Come on, let's do this. Christmas. We're still gonna talk football. We're still gonna talk about soccer on this channel. And right now we are ready. ISTV, welcoming everybody onto this show. Yes, we are ready. Kunle is ready. Robbie is ready. Okwe is ready. I can tell you categorically, Mark, all the way from Canada, is also ready. All right, what's going on, people? Yes, it's all about this round letter game once again on Christmas Day. We got to do what we got to do. All right, people, smash the like on the video. I'm welcoming everyone to this one. Merry Christmas to everybody in the house. They don't need the building. I can tell you categorically, it's bubbling right here, right now. From our studio, I want to wish all our followers, yes, all our followers, where you're watching us from, Merry Christmas to everybody. Prosperous years ahead of us. I tell you, I just want to say thank you, everybody that's been part of this journey. God did, I tell you, it's been fantastic. It's been hectic, I can tell you, buddy. One thing I know, keep doing it. Keep doing it. One day, you'll get there. Keep doing it. That's the vibes. That's the lyrics. Okwe is ready. Let me welcome Okwe. I can tell you, if you don't know, now you know. Okwe is an Arsenal fan. He wants to suck football. But I can tell you, if Arsenal should be in first place in this Christmas game coming up tomorrow, I can tell you Arsenal is going to win the league. Let me welcome him. Is Arsenal ready? Oh my goodness, Okwe, are you ready? Oh my goodness, he says ready. I'm not going to bring you on right yet. Let me delay tactics. Oh my goodness, Nubia Prince also joining me. All Arsenal fans, they're all here. They're asking me, Dito, let's do this. You got to win this league. You got to win this league. I can tell you, Nubia Prince, so serious. I tell you. What about Manchester United, people? Help me. Forget about it. All right. I can tell you, people, it is what it is. Let me bring on this man. Ole, when you want to do it, when I'm introducing you as a Man U fan, just go down. Just calm down. You know what I mean, Kule? It's not going well for Manchester United right now. But I got to do what we got to do. Raymond is ready. Margaret is also joining us. It's going to be loud tonight. All right, people, smash the like on the video. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so. What are you waiting for? It's been a fantastic journey this year. Massive people. Now, without getting saying, should I welcome a lady first? That's Margaret. Margaret, a Manchester United fan as well. She's fuming, but she's calm. Calm down, Manchester United fan. Calm down. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is in town. We are coming with 25%. As English Premier League, you're in trouble. Get back. All right, let me welcome Margaret. Ladies first on this one. Maggie, talk to me. What's going on? You happy? Yeah.
Yes, the Don. Good evening and Merry Christmas to you, the Don. Yeah. I'm going to do an his greeting. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you watch it from, and Merry Christmas. And I will end with Robbie's ways of greeting. Let's dive into the show. So let's go.
Let's go, people. She said, let's go. Welcome everyone once again. Yes, this is ISTV. This is how we roll. This is how we release vibes on sport. We call it show. Check it out anywhere in the world. You can't find it like this. Forget about it. You know what we are doing. Okay, I'm still not going to welcome you. Delay tactics. I don't know. Robbie, help me out. Robbie, you're going to join me right now. Robbie, it is what it is, Robbie.
Yes. Good evening. Merry Christmas to everyone. No. Merry Christmas to our viewers, our listeners.
Oh, goodness.
Good evening.
Talk to me, bro.
Well, it's good to be on the show. It's good to be on the show. And this is a beautiful episode. Yeah. You're looking at me like you've seen a ghost. What happened? What happened?
I'm speechless. Let's go on.
Let's go on. All right. Welcome in, everybody. Please smash the like on the video. Irate, I'm still not going to call you. You're a Liverpool fan. Yes. I tell you. Okay. Are you ready for me? You're a Man U fan. Let's welcome all Manchester United fans. First of all, Only, what's going on, bro? You're welcome to the show. Let's make it loud.
Yeah.
Sergeant town. Loud it.
Yeah. Good evening from this side. Don, Merry Christmas to everyone. What an amazing year it has been indeed. And football never ends. Christmas Day. There's still a lot to talk about. And yes, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, yes, confirmed his take after how many months? Yeah. So it's more or less like a new beginning for Manchester United. Football-wise in this case, football-wise, because United have really needed. So let's be hopeful. And I just want to touch in on Robbie here. I think I've been saying it right from time that he is a bloody detail. And right here, he has shown his true colors today.
Yeah.
So, I'm not surprised, So I don't have anything to say, but he has just confirmed everything we knew right from time. So I wish him well. I wish him well. Yeah. We confirmed Margaret. That's who he is. He has shown his true colors today. He only had to wait until Christmas to confirm it. So good for him. We wish him well.
All right, people.
I wish you well too.
Irate, are you ready for me? Merry Christmas, bro. I tell you, Irate is a Liverpool fan. Can you imagine Liverpool?
That's why you always walk alone.
Yeah, you always walk alone. Irate, you're welcome to the show.
Hey, the Don.
Yeah.
Good evening, good afternoon.
Yeah.
Compliments of the season to our viewers and to the rest of the crew.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. It's really good to be here. If there's one picture that has made my day today, it's the Don's picture donning that Santa Claus hat. That's very cool.
Yeah.
So I think you would pass for Santa Claus at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
So maybe you should consider that. Yeah, I mean it's a party going on at Man United. I can see the crew tonight is the lineup is Man United.
No problem. If you don't become Santa Claus, you will be gifting Man United 3 points in all the games. No wahala.
3 points. As long as you have Onana in goal and Rasmus Oiland up front, 3 points certain. But it's good to be.
And Kampala in defense.
Wait, no, don't come here and badmouth.
And Kampala in defense.
Iris, let me tell you, there's no difference between Man U play and Man U of this week. I mean, the recent game. There is no difference between Man U, Liverpool, Arsenal. Nobody should come here and ban anyone because you lost 2 points. Man U lost 3 points. No
Liverpool and Arsenal did not lose. Liverpool and Arsenal did not lose. That is the difference. You stop merry-go-rounding up and down.
They lost 2 points. 2 points. And Man U lost 3.
What was the final score? It was a draw and not a loss. Stop please your merry-go-rounding.
They lost 2 points. There is no City fan here. Meet your fellow Man City fans and fans. Leave us Man U, Arsenal, Liverpool. Let's ban ourselves. Go to your club.
Let me welcome everybody. I'm welcoming another person. It's a Manchester United fan. No United fan yet. Well,
not yet.
Not yet.
He's on his way.
Yeah, he's on his way. All right. Now can we now bring on the Arsenal fan people? Arsenal. Oh, Mark is ready. Mark is a Barca fan. He's a Barcelona fan to the core. I call him La Liga man. The La Liga man is joining us on this show. I can tell you, the crew, we are ready. Full loaded. Full squad. Mark, are you ready for me?
I'm ready.
All right, Mark is ready. You're welcome to the show, Mark. I call you La Liga man. What's going on, bro? You ready for us?
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, it's a good day to be alive. I'm happy, and I'm happy to see all these bright and shining faces, our friends in Nigeria. And I also say greetings to our friends all over the world, whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. We thank God for being alive, and we hope that the new year will bring better things to come for us. And for me personally, I'm happy because Barcelona will go back to training on the 29th of December, and we are going to have a new face in training. We are welcoming Vitor Hugo Roque Herrera, who will join us, and his presentation will be on January the 3rd, and we'll likely see him in action against Pedri's former club, Las Palmas, on the 4th. That is a good reason to be happy.
All right, let's do this. Please smash the like on the video. Please share this video. This is a new dimension. I tell you, you can't find it anywhere. Nubia Prince, are you ready for me? Let's welcome all Arsenal fans. All Arsenal fans at the same time. If you don't win this league, Arsenal, you go here out from this place. Nubia Prince, are you ready? Okay, are you ready? Okay, all the way from United Kingdom. I can tell you, it's in Leeds. All right, let's do this. Let me welcome all Arsenal fans at the same time. Look at them, the league leader.
He done.
Wait, what am I saying? Calm down now. Calm down.
It's a pleasure to be on ISTV. It's a pleasure to be on ISTV. Merry Christmas to everybody. Merry Christmas. I don't know if you know what it feels like to be at the top during Christmas, but I'm on top and it's Christmas. So I just want to spread the joy and love to everybody. Merry Christmas.
That's true. That's true.
It's good to see Robbie donning a new jersey. I'm glad to see Robbie. Robbie, I'm happy for you. Congratulations.
Make una no be Christmas champions. We want the real Premier League champions.
Oh, tell them.
Yeah.
Adio.
The new year is bringing new trophies, big name trophies, okay? I don't want to name names, but in due time, you will see what the new year has in store for us now.
Yeah.
Also, it's good to know that Arsenal has led at Christmas 6 times in the Premier League and yet to win.
Tell them.
I never won any. Oh,
it's a normal thing, yeah. So I think you guys are. It's good.
Lucky number 7.
It's something different.
Oh no.
The new year is bringing something glorious. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag.
Oh, the Emirates
due
Cup.
time you will see.
Next year, sometime next year.
Yes.
I think the last time they were leading at Christmas, they won. That was when maybe probably I don't know, whoever was born during that time is already a great grandpa now. So I don't know why they are so happy about being top. They're so happy. Now calm down.
All right, Raymond. Raymond, can you hear me loud and clear? You're also joining us today. Can you hear me, Raymond?
Yeah, good evening, Don. I can hear you very well.
All right, let's do this.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. A Manchester United fan once again joining us on this one. Oh my goodness. Smash the like on the video. Let's get this in. All right. All right, tonight we want to go review the game week 18. Or we should forget about that.
We must talk about that West Ham versus.
Yeah, I think that's a good place to start.
Wicked people. All right. Also,
that particular one is not important. Let's talk about title favorite for now. I think that one, Man U, West Ham is not important.
But Man United have spent a lot of money. Why are they not title favorites?
We'll talk about that. All right.
See, leave Man U alone. Man U, see, we know Man U problem. We know we have problem. Allow us. We know. We are, in fact, let us calm down. Let's talk about title favorites. Let's talk about them. They are the main people right now. Let's talk about first and second. They are your guys right now.
I'm the new owner. Let's talk about Man U.
New owner, yes, exactly. New owner.
All right.
The new era is coming for Man United.
All right.
We will talk about that one. That one is special, but let's forget about the match that was played. That one has gone. Let's talk about title favorite.
But Man United fans celebrated the win at Anfield last week because it was a win for Man United fans. So I wonder why we shouldn't talk about the West Ham game. You all celebrated that match, that point at Anfield.
Yeah.
The West Ham game, as far as I remember, was it yesterday? When was it played? Otilon here now. Let's dive into something.
No. Well, Aston Villa is next. So let's move on.
They played on Saturday.
Oh my goodness.
You see that Aston Villa?
He knows what.
My word. We are winning it. You see that Aston Villa will win them. We will do Arsenal a favor by winning that Aston Villa.
No, I agree with what Margaret saying. There's nothing new about Man United. Okay, so we want to talk about it. What we want to talk about that we've not spoken about. Honestly, at this point, there's really nothing to talk about Man United.
No. I don't agree.
Why is it when a club is not doing well, they don't want to be talked about?
Okay, United is not, but that's a known fact, right?
Well,
whatever we're going to say is still going to be a repetition.
Dog bites a man,
It's the
it is
same thing.
news.
We'll only keep on saying the same thing, so I think we should look for something.
Honestly,
let's look for something.
Why
you want to talk about Man United? No problem. I think people like it. No problem.
All right, let's do this. All right, we're going to talk about the club focus to be Manchester United. I put that question mark. Should we sack Ten Hag or it should still stay? We'll come back to that. Let's quickly review the game 18. But the paper talk first is going to be what will be Ratcliffe agenda at Manchester United. Since Ratcliffe has agreed the deal to buy 25% Man United stake. Kunle will be going through. You help us throughout on that place on Ratcliffe, and also we are going to focus on a little bit on Arsenal as well. Bad omen for Gunners. That's a question. Hope for Chelsea United. Is Christmas table by voter? That's another tricky one there. And also forget about it. Osimhen, I don't think he's going to come to EPL at this moment. He has signed another new deal to 2026. That's going to be massive. Also, Chelsea people, Mokwe, we don't see Chelsea fans today. Oh.
Yeah, at least unlike Man United fans, Man United fans still have the courage to show.
Yeah.
But Chelsea fans,
they are going They are going through a lot.
Yeah, I can't relate.
All right, Kunle. I want you to take us through this paper talk about Ratcliffe sealing the deal of 25% Man United stake. Over to you, Kunle. What's the report?
Yeah. Okay. So after months of, let me say, years of waiting, Jim Ratcliffe is finally he's finally a minority stakeholder in Manchester United. I know many fans would not have liked this because they would have preferred the what's the name of that Qatari sheikh, forgotten his name, who wanted 100% of the club. Yeah. And also promised to invest in infrastructure. But I think it's very clear that the Glazers do not want to get, they don't want to let go of something that is very profitable, because the truth is, I think if you sell Manchester United for $10 billion, if you give it to the Glazers, what sporting venture can they put it in that will give them, the kind of returns they are getting off Manchester United? I think it might be hard to see that, because Manchester United is one of the most profitable sports ventures. So I think it only made sense for them to give Jim Ratcliffe a stake out of the club. And in this case, what we understand is that Jim Ratcliffe is going to handle the football affairs of the club while the Glazers retain commercial ownership. And I think it makes sense in some regard, because the footballing side of Manchester United is what has been chaotic since Sir Alex Ferguson left. That is one of the reasons why Manchester United is constantly in the news for the wrong reasons. But and I think Ratcliffe coming in is very good, because number one, Ratcliffe is the richest man in Britain, and number two, he understands sports. He's a British man, so he knows how important. He's even Manchester born, so he understands the tradition and the heritage of United. And he has been involved in sports ventures across Europe, successful sports ventures from Formula One to sailing to cycling. He has produced successful teams under his company, Ineos. And I think he's going to be bringing some of the Ineos executives in. And that could really be a fresh start, because, the wrong people have been put in charge of football affairs at Manchester United, people who don't really understand how sports works. So maybe this could be the beginning of new things, for Manchester United. We can only hope and see, and we can be positive. Well, there are question marks about Ten Hag's future, but I think it would be ridiculous to say you want to sack Ten Hag now. Maybe with the new people Jim Ratcliffe is bringing on board, that will head over the sports department and also sit on the board of the club, better decisions can be made, starting with the January transfer window that is just around the corner. We don't know what's going to happen, but we can only wait and see, and just be hopeful that something positive comes out of this. And if nothing positive comes out of it, continue to remain in the same circle, hoping for one day when things will get right for United. But for now, I think United fans at least should just be a little optimistic. At least let's see what Ratcliffe can bring to the table, at least in his first year. So we can only wait and see.
All right. I'm going to now switch over to all Arsenal fans on this one, because there's a question, bad omen for Gunners. In fact, Irate, you remember when you said something like Arsenal have been on the top of the table for so many years now that they didn't win this league. So I want to direct this question to all Arsenal fans. Okay, or Nubian Prince, you're welcome to the show once again. Do you believe you guys can do it? this time around? Winning the league.
Will I take that or I should?
Anyone?
Okay. Now, I actually think that Arsenal have what it takes to win the title this season. Barring injuries, I mean, Saliba has shown that it's very pivotal to how we play. And, you know, defensively, he's kept us very solid. We saw what he did at Anfield. Then, of course, the addition of Declan Rice, for me, that's the best defensive midfielder in the Premier League and even arguably in the world at the moment. The way he's playing is just over the top. And so based on that, I think Arsenal actually have what it takes. And yet you look at the fact that Arsenal have a lot of players out injured at the moment, and it's not really affecting the flow. There is Tomiyasu out injured, there is Timber, there is Partey out injured, and these guys are still playing so well. So I think to a large extent, it looks like you know, that there is squad in depth now, and of course January transfer window is coming. And if Arsenal can, we've had so many talks of Arteta wants a fullback, he wants a midfielder, he wants a striker. I think what Arsenal needs so urgently at the moment is actually a striker. Now, that is not like a damning verdict on the likes of Gabriel Jesus or Nketiah. I just think Arsenal needs a striker with a different profile. Nketiah, Gabriel Jesus, those guys are good in their own right, but I think Arsenal actually need a towering centre forward that can, you know, help Arsenal play in a different way. And for me, I think Ivan Toney, considering the fact that yes, there's the argument that will Arsenal want to spend big in January if, you know, the kind of striker they want becomes available in the summer. But with the news that Osimhen has signed an extension to 2026, I don't see him this summer, definitely. So it means that Arsenal might as well just throw their hat into the ring for Ivan Toney. That's someone that has been proven in the Premier League and will not cost a ham and a leg. Because for me, if Brentford has actually survived 6 months, the first half of the season without him, they can as well do without him in the you know, for January too. And I think 50 million will be quite a decent fee to get for him. He's 27. Because if they deny him, that's his dream move, because this is someone that is eyeing a move to a club that he feels that, if I join this club, I'll play Champions League football, and that's not the only thing. I might as well get to win the Premier League. Brentford are never going to give him that opportunity. So I think it's better to cash in on him rather than have a reluctant player and unhappy player on their books. Beyond that, for me, I think and like the way Arteta has been able to vary his tactics this season shows that he's actually ready to go all the way. Arsenal are very, very unpredictable. 1 minute he's playing Tomiyasu as left back, another minute he's playing him, he's playing Zinchenko. I think Arsenal is really very difficult to read at the moment. The unpredictability that he has always spoken about is beginning to implement it, and it's helping Arsenal. Arsenal have been able to get a good result at Anfield. Yes, they got a good result there last season, but last season was a case of them dropping 2 points. This was the case of them winning, gaining a point for me, because Arsenal could have easily lost that game thanks to that chance created by Salah. So I think getting the 1 point, if Arsenal can do their job very well in the second half of the season, they've been there last season, they faltered. They must have learned a thing or two from faltering last season. So if they can put in the lessons, if they can invest in the I think they're a very good goal.
All right. I'm going to direct these questions to Robbie about Osimhen. Do you think signing for Napoli is a great deal for Osimhen, or do you think it made a mistake, or what's your take?
I think signing for Napoli is a very, very good deal for Osimhen. And of course, my reasons are just simple. One, he shows to the rest of Europe that he's not so desperate to leave the club. And that is one very important thing you consider going into a transfer window. Because some clubs might take it as, okay, fine, it looks like as if this man is just desperate to jump ship. And they might more or less just come and tell the club that they want to pay one very, very ridiculous amount for him. But as it is, everything, all the cards are on the table, and of course, all of them are in his advantage. He has signed an extension equals to he can leave at the end of this season, he can leave at the end of next season, all on his terms. So he can more or less take his time to choose his next destination because he has time on his hand. He can decide to go to Real Madrid, he can decide to come to the English Premier League, he can even decide to go back all the way to France, or more or less join a club in the Italian Serie A. So the contract extension is a good one for him, and of course, it more or less smoothens that rough edge. Especially during that period when the ill-fated TikTok video was dropped that mocked the player, and of course other little shenanigans of that happened between the club and the player afterwards. So for me, I think it's a good one for him, and of course, let us wish him the very best going forward.
Oh well,
I would like to say something briefly on that, just briefly.
All right.
Okay, so when I saw the news that Osimhen extended his contract with Napoli, I wasn't too surprised, because I was thinking, why on earth could he have done this? I would like to think that it is an economic move for Napoli, because if they can extend his contract for 3 more years, it means that they are waiting for someone, a club from Europe, not in Italy, who will come and bid for him for a high price. So it is not that they don't want him to leave, but it is that when he leaves, he will not leave on a free, and that they will be able to claim some maximum amount of money for letting him go. So I think it's a strategic move for Napoli, and not necessarily that Victor Osimhen doesn't want to leave.
All right. Let's quickly talk about Chelsea. Is it a time for us to be worried about Chelsea form at this point in time, losing another game to Wolves? What do you think?
I don't mind speaking about it.
Yeah, okay. Please help me out on this.
Look, I think currently with Chelsea, you just need to be patient with them. Yeah, they spent £1 billion in terms of transfer over the last calendar year, but what you do have is a squad of so many talented players, and they've been plagued by injuries. And there's one key factor in that team which I've seen, and it is indiscipline. You have a lot of players just picking up unnecessary suspensions and cards, just like someone like Conor Gallagher. I mean, he just came back from suspension. He got into the game against their last game. I can't remember who they played against. If you could please just remind against Southampton Wanderers. And he got a silly tackle, and then this keeps building up over time. But then again, I think sometimes you also have to scapegoat certain individuals in the team. I think Enzo Fernandez has been very lackluster this season. I think Caicedo has found it difficult to settle in immediately and hit the ground running. But most especially because of injuries, they don't always seem to have a starting 11 for maybe even a month. It's always a problem. You can't play the same starting 11 for more than 2 games consecutively. And then when you have these issues, it's hard for you to build rhythm in the team. And for some reason, Poch is someone who we've always known for years. He does not like to tinker with his first 11. And this for me is a problem, because I was watching the game against Wolverhampton Wanderers and I said to myself, look, Armando Broja needs to be playing more games for Chelsea. This is someone who has been tried and tested in the Premier League. But then he just came back from a very, very serious injury. He needs more game time. Thankfully, Christopher Nkunku is back. We've seen what type of goal threat he adds to the team. But Nkunku also is someone who can make the team tick. So he's someone who can play behind a striker. If you've got Armando Broja sharp, you would have a goal scorer in him. This is someone who has proven himself in the Premier League while at Southampton. And then on the wings, I think it's time for Raheem Sterling to probably call it a day, or maybe go to Saudi Arabia and just enjoy himself, or go to Miami, because he seems not to be consistent. And now I can understand why Gareth Southgate has refused to add him into the England squad for the last 2 international breaks. So either he gets himself back in the game and give us what we saw at the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool. I think it's probably time for Raheem Sterling to take a step back and let the young boys get the job going. So for me, I think Chelsea's best 11 going forward will probably be Nkunku behind Broja, and then you have someone like a Mudryk and Cole Palmer on the wings. But nevertheless, you do need to give Chelsea time. Once the key players get back from injury and Poch is able to create cohesion in that team, they'll be deadly going forward.
But I don't see any reason why people should not be talking about Poch at this moment. But all attention is on Eric Ten Hag. Yeah,
to be fair,
no proper reports about this person. It's not doing anything. It's not doing anything for me. This Poch.
If you think about it, it's not entirely his fault, because sometimes, like I said, the players need to be scapegoated for certain things. However, I can hold Poch accountable for certain games this season where I feel he has deployed the wrong tactics for the team. Imagine at the beginning of the season, he was playing Enzo Fernandez ahead of Conor Gallagher. Enzo Fernandez has never been a playmaker. more like a deep line playmaker who needs someone next to him who can do the dirty job while he's recovering the ball and giving progression. Poch later realized that, but it cost him points. And then against Wolverhampton Wanderers, he's playing a 4-4-2. You have someone like Nicholas Jackson, who is a very, very, very raw talent. Someone who barely played a complete professional season with Villarreal before you signed him and brought him to the Premier League. He has a ridiculous first touch. So, and then you see that with someone like Liverpool as well. Liverpool was almost playing like Paolo Maldini last season for Brighton. Now he has come into Chelsea and he's struggling because he's playing out of position. And then he continues to play a 39-year-old Thiago Silva. With all due respect to Thiago Silva, there have been so many times this season where he has spent too much time on the ball. He has not released the ball when he's meant to, and he's struggling for pace. And I can't blame him. He's 39 years old and he's playing in the most competitive league in the world. So sometimes you can't put the direct blame on Poch, 100% on Poch, but definitely he has a part in the blame.
All right, because of we have so many things to talk
John,
about.
I said that. Oh, whoa. John, permit me just few minutes.
Oh, I just
yes,
okay,
2 minutes. Few minutes. Just to disagree with Ope on this take. I'm not going to agree with you 100%. If you say we should excuse Poch out of this, don't just make mention of something while you were rounding up, saying people keep mentioning ETH. People keep putting the heat on ETH. And I don't really understand why we don't want to put the heat on Poch, because one, Poch is a manager that is experienced. This is not his first job. And if you look at this, dated back to 2019, and I'm going to use this as a comparative analysis, when Arteta took over Arsenal, Arteta was in this same run of form where he lost a lot of games, whereby he only picked up few points, and he only picked up 24 points. Right now, Chelsea had picked up 22 points in their bad run of form. And despite that, Arteta was nailed to the cross. At a point in time, Arsenal were automatically removed among the top six. Arsenal was not regarded as a top six team when they had this bad patch of form. Despite that, Arteta won, being a new manager, being his first job. You could see an identity in what he's trying to do, in what he's trying to implement. Please, can someone tell me what Poch is trying to implement with this 1 billion squad? At this point in time, level as a manager, even when we just oppose this with professional, let's say office job or on a career path, where as an IT officer or as an IT person, you're a CTO or you get the cadre of a CTO, you chief technical officer of a certain organization, you cannot be given time to be experimenting. The onus that comes with that job, the responsibility that comes with that role, depicts or interprets that you understand what you are doing and you are going to generate results. We are in a result generating business, which is football that we all see. And if you're not generating that result, it's automatic failure. Another typical example I'm going to cite just to round up is Everton, Sean Dyche. Despite Everton being deducted 10 points, we can see what Sean Dyche is implementing. Look at Everton dominating Tottenham in the last game, despite them losing. Look at them dominating Tottenham at home. It was unlucky for them not to get anything from that game. But we can see what Sean Dyche is building with that team. Another typical example is Wolves, the team Chelsea played. You can see what this guy, what's his name? His name keeps failing me. The new manager of Wolves. We can see what he's trying to implement. Man City has gone there. They've lost. Tottenham have gone to that stadium. They've lost. Chelsea have gone to that stadium. They've lost. Even Manchester United struggled. Manchester United also struggled. Liverpool struggled. I don't know if they won or they lost. But what is Poch doing with this team? What can we see? Is the blueprint? Just to round up finally, Arteta back then in 2019, the question that was being hammered in the media what is the blueprint? Where is the blueprint? And okay, if you remember, another platform where we've discussed this issue when Arsenal was on that bad patch, this was discussed. What is the blueprint? And I dare to say, what is the blueprint on Chelsea from Poch? 18 games into the season, almost done, almost at the middle stage of the season, and you're still asking me that we should give Poch time and be patient with them after spending £1 billion. I rest my case.
All right. Just a final note. my last piece on Chelsea, right? He's mentioned something about being in a CTO position and having to redevelop like an IT department, right? But I put it to you, there are many times where you get certain tools. You get those tools unassembled. So by yourself, before you can put those tools to use and build up your machine and build up your products, you need to assemble those tools and get them to work. Poch has a lot of unrefined talent with him. Number one example is Nicholas Jackson, 22-year-old Levi Colwill. I can go on and on and on and on. Look, yes, they spend big money to get these players, but the valuation of these players does not mean that these players are X amount so good on the pitch. These players are young, they've got raw talent. Poch needs to do a lot of refining. Yes, maybe some other players, in my own opinion, I would have expected him to keep certain players within the team and not send them on loan, but that is his decision. But it does not change the fact that those players are not ready to play at the highest level that Poch can actually manage a team to get them to victory. It's as simple as that. So it's either you be patient with him, or you just go the Chelsea way, keep hiring and firing until you get your results. But if it is with this support, there is no result.
So sorry to cut you. Colwill was standard in Brighton. Everybody praised Colwill.
I want to say something, please, Don.
Hold on.
Playing as a left-sided centre back at Brighton. In Chelsea, because of his senior man, quote unquote, Thiago Silva, he has been pushed out.
Okay, when Jackson was signed, Chelsea fans said they signed the next Didier Drogba. Do you know what it means for you to tag a player to be the next Didier Drogba? You can't tell me there's no element. No, you can't tell me there is no element. You can't tell me there is no element of anything.
How many Chelsea fans knew of Nicholas Jackson before he was signed by Chelsea?
All right, because of our time, let me quickly talk about this. Hold on. Irate, the game ended 1-1. It's not a record that you guys wanted because normally you always beat Arsenal to a point. But this one, again as it be, the game ended 1-1. What's your thoughts, please, on this game? Liverpool 1, Arsenal 1.
Yes, there's a lot of talking points from this game, and after watching the game and also going back to watch highlights from the game, I would say the first and important thing is it's actually a good game of football compared to the drab draw we saw against the red side of Man United the previous weekend. This was actually a good game to see. Both teams tried to go for it. We saw different passes of play. Beautiful game. Tackles flying in. It had everything. As a fan and as a neutral, there's no way you watch that game and at the end not be like, wow, this is what we like to see in a Premier League game. So that's the first thing. The second thing I learned from the game is this is a game that the defense won over the attack. And you can easily see why. I think Liverpool and Arsenal have considered the least goals, or maybe Arsenal with one goal less or something. I'm not sure about the stats, but you can see why they both considered the least goals in the Premier League. Looking at the defense, I'm going to call out some players like Saliba, Gabriel, Ben White as well. Did a very good job. And on the Liverpool side, Van Dijk and Konate were immaculate. And also Joe Gomez, when he came in, he had an early scare when Saka got behind him. But after that, Saka was nowhere to be found after that incident until the end of the game. And also Declan Rice, what a player he is, terrific. Like Nubian Prince said, for me, the best best DMF in the league right now, if not even in the world. And I'm also going to give some credit to Endo as well. He won countless number of tackles on the pitch on that day. So it was a game where defense won over attack. And for me, I think the concern for both teams right now should be the attack. because both sides, I would say more often than not, the attackers were found wanting. Where are they? Were there attackers in this game? Martinelli was in Konate's pocket all day. Gabriel Jesus was non-existent. Saka had, early battles with Simicas, but then when Gomez settled into the game, it was nowhere to be found. Gakpo, I'm not even sure if he touched the ball a couple of times, maybe 5-6 times throughout the game. Luis Diaz was also eaten up by Ben White. He couldn't get the better of him. And the only person that got just a couple of moments of joy was Salah against Zinchenko. So, both attacks for me, it's a cause for concern. We will be losing Salah in January for about a month, depending on how far Egypt go. Who are we going to rely on for the goals? We don't know. Darwin Núñez, hit and miss. Cody Gakpo, non-existent. Luis Diaz, out of form. So This is a huge, huge concern as a Liverpool fan right now. And but overall, I think if any of these teams will win the league, it's probably going to be the defense that would be winning them the title. But the only winner from this game is not Liverpool, it's not Arsenal. They're saying, Arsenal gained the points, Liverpool dropped 2 points. The only winner from this game didn't even play in the game. They were not even in England at that time. And that is Manchester City, who are now 6 points behind Arsenal with a game in hand. They have Kevin De Bruyne back. Erling Haaland is available. Rodri is available, he's not injured. And they will be full of confidence playing against Everton, having just been made world champions. So they were the only winners from the game, if you ask me. And also, there are a couple of talking points, not too many chances, but couple of chances Alexander-Arnold should have done better when he had that
chance. Yeah.
That's a disastrous miss. And we also saw Martinelli with a good chance in the first half. And also Salah as well. A player of his caliber should be bearing that ball that Cody Gakpo nodded down to him in the box. He was unmarked, just hit the target. That's all he had to do. So overall it was a great game. Like I said, tackles flying in, defenses on top of the game. World class defending from both teams in that game. And also, I don't think there's any weekend now we could go without talking about officiating. And this weekend was also another talking point of sometimes we don't know why we have VAR, right? And this is not only the Liverpool game. That Odegaard and boys, it's a stonewall penalty. There's no way you can place it, no matter how you want to bend it. It's a penalty. And we also saw some disastrous calls in other games as well. I watched the Nottingham Forest game. The Bowley red card is not even a yellow card. So sometimes I keep wondering, this is schoolboy stuff. This is basic. You don't even need to be a professional to know these things. So I wonder why we have VAR if they can't go back to this incident and tell the ref that why don't you review this? I think you made a wrong call here. So we really need to do better in the Premier League with officiating. It's getting to a point where it might start. It's going to start getting on the nerves of fans, and more questions will be asked of Howard Webb and the rest of his cohorts. But it was a great game. I think both teams will right up there in the Premier League. They're about top 3, top 4 places, but their attack for both teams is a huge, major concern right now. That for me is the biggest takeaway from the game.
All right, I want to ask all Arsenal fan, Nubian Prince, Ayis, and then Okwe, who is going to give us your own review of this game?
Let me just say this.
And I would love to counter what Irie said, but maybe after Nubian Prince.
No. I just need one person to talk about this game. You, Arsenal fan, decide. Okay, go ahead.
Please, before they talk, I want to ask Irie. Irie, do you not believe that Arsenal are not that Arsenal of 2-3 seasons ago where you were kicking them around? Since last season, they've shown to Liverpool that they are ready.
The only thing Irie did not do in his analysis was to give kudos to Arsenal. Thank you for that question.
Kudos to Arsenal. Kudos to Arsenal for what?
So you cannot just say that.
Because
so many advocacies, so many construction of sentences, but you fail to give credit to Arsenal for anything. It's okay.
Both teams went toe to toe. It was a great game.
They said now you get house.
I think that's enough credit.
Where are we? Where we there?
I beg you done.
All right, who is gonna go for this?
Now, on the penalty incident, I want us to do a flashback to the Matty-Cash incident and how Prof was waxing lyrical saying that, oh, the intention, blah, 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 blah. Then there's also the issue of proximity. Now, let's not forget that Odegaard actually slipped. He slipped at that moment, and his hand actually touched the ball. Now, it wasn't a deliberate handball. At that moment, there was no way he was going to adjust his body. The distance was just too short. So if you put that handball, if you put it side by side with Matty-Cash incident, you discover that it was consistency here. So for me, I'm not going. If anybody queried why Matty-Cash was not, as Sunderland was not penalized and the penalty given to us now, nobody should talk about the incident. It was similar. Now, also,
no, I don't think it was similar. Let me just say that real quick, because I feel like you see all those Odegaard slipped. Odegaard didn't slip. Odegaard knows what he's doing. Like I said, you don't need to play football at the highest level. As long as you even play, even if it's set or OGO in your neighborhood, that is. I've not seen any pundit anywhere in the world say that is not a penalty. Theo Walcott was on that game for Sky Sports. It's a clear penalty. They got away with one.
His feet were crying out loud.
Oh my goodness!
He didn't slip. I didn't see. What he did is he moved his hand towards the ball.
Sorry, Nubia Prince. Let me just back you up. Let me just back you up because I hear irate moaning. Because for me, I just feel you're clutching on straws here. You're moaning. You're trying to look for an excuse when you're saying such has not happened. Flashback last season, West Ham, Chelsea. The same incident happened. I can't remember the player, but Chelsea thought there was a West Ham player that was sleeping, lost his footing, and his hand touched the ball. No penalty given. Flashback to last 2 seasons, Arsenal, Manchester United at the Emirates Stadium. It was Cedric Suarez. The same thing, slipped, his hand touched the ball. No penalty given. And that was the same thing that happened on Saturday where Odegaard slipped. What I would have wanted Iri to talk about was how come all of a sudden Anfield was sleeping. All Arsenal players were sleeping. I thought that was a fault. That was a childish antics played by Liverpool because I read something. I read something. Yes, I read something that they've done. And what's the word? They did kind of like a research on the kind of boots the Arsenal players use. The Arsenal players don't use studs. Most of them use boots called molds. You can also Google that. So they've done that research. And if you look at most of Liverpool players use studs. They use studs boots. And if you're using a mold boot on a pitch that is overwatered, you will definitely slip. I shared a bit of peace on Twitter on the group. Even that could have given Bukayo Saka a serious injury where he slipped and he went into the German guy. What was his name? I've forgotten. The same thing happened when he was trying to retrieve the ball from Tsimikas and he slipped as well. And unfortunately for Liverpool, despite their dirty antics, that gave their player an injury in Tsimikas. Yes, because he went back to hit them in the butt. Look at Arsenal players, they were slipping all through that game. And I'm surprised that for Liverpool to have played such a dirty antic, so they knew that Arsenal really were on the horizon and Arsenal could affect or defeat them. Yeah, they did it against Real Madrid also last season. Yes. So for me, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that the dirty antics that they played later got back. Yeah, later got back to bite them in the butt by affecting their own player or getting injury. But that's by the way. The decision was perfect. The decision made by the referee not to have given that penalty. That is what you call consistency. I would back and I would support the referee on this because I've given 3 different instances: Chelsea, West Ham, Arsenal, Manchester United, and Liverpool, Arsenal. The same sequence, and the penalty was given. So that's consistency. And if you look at it, going by the books, going by the letter, what is written in the law, that is not a penalty.
All right.
Well, so talking about dirty antics.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, I'm not a groundsman or a facility manager at Anfield, and since I don't know how they got reports of how whatever it is that was done, I mean, I've not heard anything about that, and I don't know how true that is, so I really cannot speak on that. But however they got that information, it's up to who got it. But as far as I'm concerned, it was a wrong decision. All these stories of sleeping, at Odegaard sleeping, and all, it's like I said, it's just, we are just trying to make up something here. Odegaard didn't sleep one bit. He knows what he's doing, and he moved his hands towards the ball. People in the stadium, everyone in the stadium was like, no, this is a penalty. And we also saw Saliba come out to say, yes, it's a penalty, but he's not the referee, so why does he have to take on that? So for me,
right.
I don't even want us to ask, because it's like he was coming here to say, I make a comparison between Haaland and Nunes, you know. I don't even think it's something that should be argued. If it has been given in other games or has not been given, it's a wrong call. That is a clear penalty, 100%.
All right, Kunle. Manchester United were beaten by Honorable West Ham. Can you imagine? Margaret, and you there here. You cannot fire Eric Ten Hag. And you don't want to fire Eric Ten Hag. Talk to me, Manchester United.
Okay, the point is, if you fire Eric Ten Hag, then who are you going to bring in? That's the truth. That's what I keep asking. Who will you bring in? Who is available that can actually handle this club? There are actually managers who are available. You think of managers like Graham Potter. There is even Antonio Conte. There is Zinedine Zidane, who has been out of work for almost a year. I mean, more than a year, if I'm correct. They are managers. I mean, I'm trying to remember some names now. You know, Frank Lampard. But the question to ask yourself is, do they actually have what it takes to handle this Manchester United at this present time? You know, Manchester United is in chaos at the moment, yes. But it's very clear that despite the chaos here, they are actually capable of getting results when they want to get it. I feel sometimes this is actually beyond the manager's grasp. It is really the players who need to do it. There is a certain way, yes, the manager sets up the team to play based on the players' strengths. Although, yes, in the event of this, it can actually hamper some other players, such as the striker up front in Rasmus Højlund. But you need to then understand that there are a couple of key players who are out injured. And if there is actually a desired way that Ten Hag wants to play, not with this current crop of players, can that happen? So it means that results are going to be here and there. Thankfully, some of those players are coming back. Casemiro is back in training. Or he's close to coming back. Maybe before, he might be back before the end of the year, from what I hear. The same thing with Lisandro Martinez. Mason Mount is back in training. When all these people, Christian Eriksen is back. When all these people now play, let's give it. So I think we should still give it a bit of time. January, February. Let's see how they click, right? If they don't now click, maybe that is where everything might be going wrong for Ten Hag. And let's not forget, if we owner in town, a minority ball operation. I'm sure he would want to see how things pan out. There's the January transfer window coming in. Let's see how things pan out before we can now start talking about Ten Hag. But until then, anything you see from Manchester United, whether they win or they lose, it should be expected.
Margaret, I know you have a different opinion.
Don, please, I beg to differ. Don, I beg to differ.
Do you want the manager to be sacked? Talk to me. Right now, right there.
Please.
Because people have been talking about using McTominay.
This whole excuse of player injured, players going out on injuries list and all of that. As far as I remember, when you look at the list of players out injured, they are all defenders. Majority are defenders. And I want to ask the question. What stopped the attackers from scoring? What stopped the midfielder from creating goals? No, let me ask, because it's sometimes it pissed me off. When I was just sitting down, when was that? Was it yesterday or the day before? I was like, what is wrong with this team? They keep giving one silly excuse. Injury, and then a return guy comes and tell you that he has a plan. That's the thing we've been hearing from me. He has a plan. What are these plans? We're not even seeing anything.
Nothing.
Okay, you've tried, and then there was a mistake. Then we understand that okay, the plan is that you're coming up with a plan. But when we look at his game style of play and everything is flat. United play flat. I mean, you ask yourself, what are they playing? What game plan does this man actually have?
Margaret, you can't rule out.
Apart from Casemiro and Eric and Eriksen that are injured, I understand, but we still have Rashford.
But
Instead of United to go for a more experienced striker, they said no, it's too expensive. Let's go for Rashford. And then the Rashford has not scored even one goal yet. He doesn't even know what he is doing. And then there is Rashford there. There is Garnacho. Hey. What excuses are you giving me? Defender doesn't stop you from scoring. Just because the defenders they are out there injured doesn't mean that the attackers or midfielders will not score.
Wait, Margaret. Margaret, you need to look at this thing.
There is a saying that says the best form of attack, the best form of defending is attacking. Have you even tried attacking? No.
No, I think you said
the best form of defense is attacking. Best form of defense is attacking, whatever. It's attack. Okay. What the attack? Have they been attacking? No. They keep giving that silly excuses that defenders are out injured. The defenders didn't tell them not to score. I don't buy that excuse. I don't buy it. The man is just confused. He doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
This whole thing of giving him time. Last season we saw what he did, and we were happy. We think that we're supposed to continue from there and not decline.
No, Margaret, wait, Margaret. Thank God you mentioned that things worked last season. But mind you, things worked last season because majority of the players were fit. We had them fit for most of the season. Now look at it this season. Even the players we signed, all of them came in with injuries. From Højlund to Mount to Amrabat. Only Onana is the only signing we made that has not had any injuries. Then you look at it, our two left backs, they were injured. You know how very important the left back position is. Even the backup option we bought in Regulion, he caught injuries. Then you look at it, Rafael Varane, he had fitness issues. Harry Maguire, who has even been at the best defender, is presently injured. And Wan-Bissaka, 3 months, he was out injured. So how do you want? The only person who has been fit in midfield is Scott McTominay, and that's why he has been playing. Scott McTominay is not the perfect person, but he has been fit, so he would obviously play. Then don't forget the Jadon Sancho issue with discipline. Then Anthony's case with with domestic violence issues. Then Kobe Manu, who has been a breath of fresh air, he has been injured since pre-season. So Margaret, imagine if all these players wait, Margaret, wait.
Man U fighting Man U.
Wait, Margaret. Wait, Margaret. If all these players were fit at the start of the season and they played badly, then I think we could have had a case. But these players have hardly played together. So Ten Hag will obviously just have to cook up something. Look, the point is, even despite all these things, we are still in the top 10 because the truth is, with the way United have had all these things, United should be closer to the relegation zone. But the fact that they are still in the top 10 are not that far from the top 10. Sorry, come again.
Can I just
all the players, Margaret. But we've barely had the players.
Let me ask you a question before. This is Antonio's second season in Man United.
Yeah.
How many goals is this? Okay, let's leave the goal. Let's leave goal contribution. What tangible contribution has he made?
Now, on Anthony's case, I wanted to raise that up when Okwe was talking about Nicholas Jackson being a raw talent and all. That is who Anthony is. And the truth is, if someone like Nicholas Jackson needs time to be that potential player that people see in him, I think it's the same thing with Anthony, because Ten Hag bought this guy, right? I mean, Ten Hag saw something from him and he took him all the way from Brazil, right? So I feel that if we are going to see the best out of Anthony, it is going to be Ten Hag's work, because he probably sees something in that guy that we are not seeing. That is what. So I'm not always ones of goals, assist, and all. And I know Anthony is not right.
Yeah. Did Mohamed Kudus of West Ham? Anthony played under Erik Ten Hag, well, at Ajax.
Yeah, and he did well. He didn't do bad.
We can see what Kudus is. We can see what Mohamed Kudus is with West Ham.
Yes,
right?
But it is. You need to understand that.
Right?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why I didn't agree with Okwe when he said the guy needed. I'm not going to agree with what you're saying as well, saying Anthony needs time. No. These players that were brought in from Eric.
West Ham is in a better place.
There's nothing you can tell me that I will listen. Because no, I beg to differ. I beg to differ on that, because if you look at the trajectory, hold on now. Let me just make a point. If you just let me try to make a point. If you look at the trajectory between Manchester United and West Ham, Manchester United is in a good place, is in a better place. Look at where Manchester United finished last season, third in the EPL, and they won the Carabao Cup to back it up, qualified for the Champions League money. Look at West Ham. West Ham finished where? I think below the Champions League spot, despite winning a European trophy. If you put both projects side by side, Manchester United are in a better place. Do you understand? And for me, the issue about Erik Ten Hag, I made mention earlier that we should put pressure on Poch. Yes, pressure needs to go on Erik Ten Hag, because you started at a level, you came in and you took Manchester United to a certain level in your first year of being the manager of the team. And the second year, which you're supposed to take it a notch higher, and what we're seeing is far from what we saw in the first season. All this problem came from one man management, his management style not being right. I don't need a soothsayer to tell me that dressing room is divided. That dressing room, Erik Ten Hag has lost players' trust. It's so glaring. The players are not playing for him anymore, because you cannot tell me you are at a level 80. I'm citing that as an example. When you came in, and right now we can't even trace if you're on level 40 or you're on level 50. It's way below. It's not acceptable in the current market or in the current dispensation of football. Because if I were to be a Manchester United fan, I'll be so pissed because I'm not seeing anything. So that pressure needs to be put on Erik Ten Hag, and you shouldn't exonerate him. And that's why I'm going to back Margaret up with what she's saying. Question needs to be asked. Things need to be put in proper perspective. We don't have to start giving any excuses. And the real box lies on the manager's table.
Thank you so much on that. Because there's going to be a game tomorrow. Game fixtures 19. Let's quickly look at that. Newcastle versus Nottingham Forest. Also, Bournemouth will be welcoming Fulham in this game. Fixtures 19 tomorrow, Boxing Day. Also, Sheffield United will be welcoming Luton. Liverpool in trouble tomorrow, God's willing. Going all the way to Burnley. I love looking for trouble. I rate. Liverpool will be going all the way to Burnley, and also Manchester United will be welcoming Aston Villa. Also on Wednesday, Brentford versus Wolves. Chelsea also home to Crystal Palace. Everton will be welcoming Man City. Massive game on Wednesday. What about Arsenal? Arsenal has a game on Thursday, which is Arsenal versus West Ham. Also, Spurs will be traveling all the way to Brighton. I don't know. Those are big matches coming up this weekend. Liverpool to Burnley. I rate Burnley are really trying at this moment. Is it time to go there to make it 3 points? Are you seeing 3 points in that game?
Yeah, I think Burnley has started to gain confidence. They had a rough patch coming into the Premier League, and they were losing lots of games home and away. But I think they've steadied the ship in the last 2 or 3 games thereabouts with 2 wins, if I'm correct. So, it's going to be a tough game. I think it's a team right now that they want to get as many points as possible to get off the bottom of or around the bottom 3 of the table. So it will be a game where there would be lots of pressure. Also, it's a Boxing Day game. The home fans will want 3 points from their team. But on Liverpool side as well, I think right now we need to start picking up wins. We've drawn the last 2 games, and 3 points is anything less than 3 points for me. I would say would not be a good result for Liverpool. And also considering the fact that we've drawn the last 2 games, there's been lots of reactions from even Liverpool fans saying, "Oh, Liverpool is not playing well" and all that. And I'm like telling them, you have to calm down. We need to remember that we might not be at our best, but this is a Liverpool team that's only lost 1 game so far this season, and that was the VAR debacle at Tottenham Hotspur. So, it's Liverpool probably right now could have been unbeaten. Who knows? And you really can't say that even though we are not playing well, we are still able to get results, and that is a good sign more often than not of a team. So let's see what happens when we click into gear and the attack starts firing. So for me, this is a good game where the likes of Nunes, Gakpo, Luis Diaz, they need to turn up. Like I said, we would have Salah going to the African Cup of Nations, and that would be a big hole to fill. We will be filling that hole. We are yet to know. We need our attackers back on confidence. Also, Tsimikas is out. There is no left back available for this game. I expect Joe Gomez to come in and play in at left back. And I think he's not naturally a left-footed player, but I think he can do a decent job there, especially defensively. So, but when it comes to the quality of the teams, obviously, Liverpool has more quality than Burnley. And going by what happened the last 2 games, I think Liverpool should be winning this game at Burnley. Might be a tough game, might be closer than maybe a lot of people are expecting, but I expect Liverpool to pick up all 3 points.
All right. Manchester United will be welcoming Aston Villa at Old Trafford tomorrow. Margaret, if you are talking about changes, what changes do you want to see? Margaret, can you hear me? Are you looking up for any changes in that game? Any players you want to see or you don't want to see at the game between Manchester United, Aston Villa? Do you your best 11 for Man U now? Or you don't even have any confidence?
Do Man U actually have best 11? I don't think Man U have a best 11 right now. Honestly, Man U don't. The only thing I want to see is that game is 3 points. 3 points, because I think it's so funny that we talk more about Man United losses than win. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. That every time we come here, either we talk about Man U losing the games we just played, or we talk about what is going on in the dressing room or mismanagement and every other thing. We're not talking about victory. They won 10 in a row, they won 7 in a row. That is what we want to know. But against Aston Villa, honestly, this is one particular game that United need to go out for. They need to bring out every power, but they need to be inspired. I don't know what's going to inspire them for them to need to get 3 points in this particular game. Maybe they need to look at Arsenal and say, wow, maybe they need to take clue from Arsenal, what Arsenal. But by the way, Arsenal fans don't come and be doing carry shoulder up. I never still reach. They need to just be inspired. What is going on? They need to drop whatsoever differences that they have in that team and then go all out and get all important 3 points at Old Trafford, because you can't lose again at home. It doesn't make sense. I'm telling you. But I don't know. I believe and I am so confident that Man U will win Aston Villa.
Oh,
We win 3 points.
Wow.
yeah, wow,
This
fantastic.
man, you will win Aston Villa. Well, you were confident the same way
Robbie, why are you shaking your head?
against West
What's
Ham.
wrong?
So,
Can we do it?
it's good to be confident. Anyways,
Fear can hold you prisoner.
Aston Villa is winning that game.
Mario beat Aston Villa.
Yes, I know you losing again.
What if they lose tomorrow? You say you can't see them losing. Are you not going to watch the match? So if they are losing, you will change the scoreline on the sheet of paper.
I think with my full chest, I'm saying this.
They will deflate your chest. They will deflate your chest. Who needs your chest? Aston Villa beat United tomorrow. Write it down. I said so.
All right, guys. Let's talk about another game. Quick one before we leave. I think it's going to be Arsenal. Arsenal are doing it for us this on Thursday with West Ham coming. Are you scared about this game? Can you hear me loud and clear? I'm not sure you can hear me. Nubian Prince, are you scared?
Not at all.
All right, not at all. Nubian Prince, are you confident going to this game?
Overconfidence, they worry me.
Overconfident. Oh goodness me.
Don't worry, we go day here on Thursday.
On Thursday, all right. Robbie, Manchester City going to Everton.
Yes, when they went to buy their bag of rice.
Tell us what are we expecting from Man City?
I don't guys are thinking. You are saying your team will win. You are saying Arsenal will not win. I don't understand.
Man City will lose.
All right, Robbie, talk to me about the game.
Okay, I think for Man City, they might find that game a little bit tough. Looking at the fact that they just came back from the Club World Cup tournament, and of course, looking at the distance that they have had to also cover in the course of that match. So, for Everton, see, like I said, I think that defeat in the last game to Spurs was more or less the only dent they've had in their last 5 games. The last 5 games, they've been able to win 4 and not concede a single goal until they played against Tottenham Hotspur. And of course, against Man City, I believe they will fancy their chances. Can City win? It is very possible. Can they lose? Yes, Everton is that team on a good day that can more or less become that banana peel in front of the citizens. But I think for Pep Guardiola, looking at the fact that Liverpool and Arsenal are peeling away from what he believes should not be the gap between them, I think they will be extra motivated to play against Everton. So the only enemy of Manchester City going into that game is possibly fatigue. And I think Rodri is also injured. So for Pep Guardiola, he has a lot of tinkering to do going into that game.
All right. Quick one before we wrap up the show. I'm going to give Mark. Mark, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
You want to talk about the Super League? Talk to me. You're welcome to the floor right now.
Okay, so the Super League is an attempt by the major clubs in Europe to form a separate league where they believe that they are going to get a lot of economic benefits. And actually, this idea of the Super League did not just start today. It has started a long time. We can go back to 1968 when the UEFA General Secretary for almost 3 decades, Hans Ben Gatta, he was the one that first proposed the idea, but it was thrown out. He wanted Europe to have what is called European Football League Championship, but that idea never really saw the light of day. Then 1987, 3 clubs, AC Milan, Real Madrid, Rangers, they wanted to form what was called the Super League. Also, that was botched. Then in 1990, 3 years later, Ajax, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Manchester United, they wanted to form the Super League and the Pro Cup. The idea was that the Super League will replace the Champions League and it will have 36 teams. Then the Pro Cup will replace the UEFA Cup and it will have 96 teams. But when UEFA and FIFA came up with threats of sanctions that any club that's a part of it will be heavily fined, that idea was jettisoned. Then come down to 2009, Florentino Perez, he was the Real Madrid president then. He was talking about why the UEFA Champions League was obsolete and archaic and so problematic, and that football needed a new direction so that clubs can make more money. He came up with the idea of the Super League competition. But it was around 2018 that this idea started to gather steam, and the 12 clubs in the 2021 Forbes Most Valuable Football Club list were the people that now came up with what we now know today as the European Super League project. And if you see on the screen there were like 14 teams who were confirmed. The 15th one was supposed to join. Bayern Munich and PSG, they chickened out because they were like one leg in, one leg out. They didn't actually really join. And the idea was that JP Morgan, the American banking institution, will provide money, 4.6 billion pounds, so that these teams will make more money than what is being made in the UEFA Champions League. And to put this into perspective, in 2019-2020 UEFA Champions League season, Bayern Munich played PSG, if you remember, and Bayern Munich won. Bayern Munich, who were the winners, they made around 113 million euros as winners of the competition. But PSG, who were the runners-up, who lost the final, they made almost 127 million euros. So there's a disparity between who should actually make more money as winners and those who had more access to TV rights, media rights, and what is called the market pool. So this is one discussion that has been going on. And if you look at the screen there, among the fans, there was a poll done in Southeast Asia among fans of major clubs in Europe, what they think. Most fans of Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United are actually in favor of the idea, but those among the Spanish clubs and then Bayern Munich and PSG, they are somewhere in between. So the major issue now is that the European Court of Justice has come out to back this Super League project. It was totally unexpected. Nobody knew that they could even get that victory. And the reason they gave is that FIFA and UEFA are abusing their dominant positions as governing bodies of the game. That what they are actually doing is against EU laws for labor, because every institution is allowed to do what is called an economic activity, to do anything that is within the law to boost their income. So the European Super League project is actually seen as an economic activity in front of the court. But among football fans and among people like us, analysts, pundits in the game, we have our different views. And that is something that we can talk about on this platform. For one, I think that the major idea behind the Super League project is one of the oldest reasons in the world, and that is money. Real Madrid and Barcelona especially are looking for ways to make at least $1 billion in a football season. And that is a lot of money. And they are trying to do everything. They are the only two clubs that have not backed out for one day in this project. So it's something that we don't know how it's going to end. We don't know if it will see the light of day, but it's going to stay around for a long time.
All right. Well, this is how far we can go tonight. Irate, you want to say something about Super League? I think you like it.
No, I don't like it one bit. I think it's just money-hungry teams. And Mark mentioned like big European teams. I think this is actually being championed by the two greedy La Liga clubs. One of them is in a financial mess and looking for every means possible to get out.
I said so.
While the other one just wants to sign Galacticos as many players as possible, big names, and just float money around. I think, yes, I would say those two, especially La Liga as a whole, is looking at the other leagues like the Premier League, and I would say there's some sort of envy over the amount of money the Premier League is able to generate, especially with TV money, and the huge disparity between what the Premier League brings in and what La Liga teams bring in terms of revenue for TV money, and they are trying to find a level ground, but they are also trying to take the competition out of the game. What we love about this game, Leicester City winning the Premier League, Girona being top of the table for most of the season, you love to see those things. Neutral teams, Bayern Leverkusen doing well. And for me, that is the beauty of football. So I know they've tried to bend it different ways. They've gone to court. Now they are saying there's a new format, there's promotion and relegation. I still do, especially traditional English teams, Liverpool, Man United, Everton, and the rest. I'm telling you that their fans will say a big no, and they will always, in fact, there's actually more resistance now than when it was initially announced. So if I were to be A22 that are planning to manage this Super League project, I would say they should look for something else, because this is not happening anytime soon. That is if it would ever happen, if it will happen anyways, like even into the future. But also it's a chance to check what the big organizations like UEFA and FIFA are doing regarding more games that we are having, and the congested football calendar that is coming up. So yeah, it's a wish list. I don't think it will happen, and I think they should just ditch it, in my opinion.
Oh, massive one. All right. This is how far we can go. Irate, I want to say big thank you to you. Merry Christmas, bro, for joining us on this one. Thanks you,
for
man.
having me, Don. Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you.
All right. Kunle, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us on this one. Massive.
Always a pleasure. Merry Christmas.
All right. Margaret, thanks for joining us. What's the score line for tomorrow? Manchester United.
Yeah, we're winning. Thank you, Don, for having me.
All right. Nubia Prince, big up. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Don.
All right, Robbie, thanks for joining us on this one. Massive, Robbie. Thank you so much. And Mark, it is what it is.
Yeah.
AFCON is coming. So,
yes, we're going to talk about that. Yeah.
All right. So we're going.
I hope Nigeria wins. I hope they win, but it's doubtful.
All right. You know what? I need you to write about this forthcoming AFCON. You want you to write something on that for us.
Yes, I have like 7 teams that I think that Nations Cup revolve around, the winners, the 7 possible winners. So I'll write something about that.
All right. Thank you so much, Mark. Thank you so much. Massive. All right, people, smash the like on the videos. This is how far we can go tonight. Merry Christmas to all our viewers anywhere you're watching from. Subscribe to our channel. I really want to say thank you so much. Thank you. Until the next one on Friday when we'll be back, I want to say take it easy, people. Bye for now.